Hey guys, and welcome to the latest in the SleepyTalk podcast. I'm using my professional voice again because we are joined with Scott and
Hello.
PT64.
How are we doing, guys?
So, if you haven't already, go check out PT's Twitch. You'll see me on there quite a lot. A lot of donos going over there as well because I want them little things on the edge of the name.
Mate, you are the badge holder. You're an absolute legend. I appreciate any support for the channel, guys, in advance. Thank you.
Yeah, go head over. There'll be a link in the description. It's pretty chill. There's a lot of atmosphere going off in there as well. Like a lot of conversation. I can't keep up half the time. So
yeah, I have to do my best to be fair all the time. But yeah,
12 till 4 weekdays GMT.
That's the one. That's the one.
I did my research.
Well, he knows. He knows by now. He knows. Hooked him in, haven't we?
Yeah, that's it.
Got him.
That's it. That's all. Gotta get that merch.
We got him. We got him. Oh yes. Oh yes.
So enough of that. Enough of me rimming you. Today we're going to talk about Skinwalker Ranch. Now this is one of the things that I was looking at, and I thought, oh, we've done Skinwalkers before. Let's go and look at Skinwalker Ranch. And then I watched a documentary on it and realised it had absolutely nothing to do with Skinwalkers.
Yeah, that was definitely the first thing I realised. Early on, watching that, yeah, definitely threw me for one, yeah.
I mean, it started strong though, didn't it? It started strong. It was like, oh, his wife saw a wolf that was immune to bullets, and I was like, oh, here we go. Oh, she goes to see the Navajo tribe and to say that there's wolves in the area that are immune to metal fired, and they say there are no wolves, and that's the last you hear about it. That's literally the last you hear about it. That's the only Skinwalker reference at all. Is a woman seeing an invincible wolf followed by a dog-like creature. I thought a wolf was a dog-like creature, but clearly, not.
I mean, my first instinct, I'll be honest, as soon as she said, "Oh, I've seen this wolf-like creature," I was, probably just a wolf. that was my first. Yeah. That was my first instinct. Probably just a wolf.
And then you shoot at it.
It were a big ass wolf, weren't it?
It was. Yeah. It was.
It's supposedly bigger than the average wolf.
Which, to be fair, I mean, I can't comment. I'm not around wolves a lot. I don't see your average size, but they are bigger than dogs, aren't they? I mean, wolves are big.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah.
So it'd have to be pretty titanic, wouldn't it?
I mean, they take out elks, don't they? Elks are huge.
Yeah.
Moose and sometimes bears, I think. Like Yellowstone, like they live with grizzlies. They've got to be big to deal with grizzlies, even in a pack.
You need one big ass pack of wolves to tear down a grizzly, though.
I imagine so, because they basically they might as well have opposable thumbs. They can use any sort of karate chop that they want.
Bears just picking up sticks and just just drumming on these walls. Just
fucking imagine bears like, your ass come to the wrong neck of the woods, boy.
But I imagine there's sort of like a mutual respect between. I know we're going off topic, but a mutual respect between like grizzlies and wolves, where they probably think that it's
100%
too much effort. Not
the animal kingdom. For anybody who watched Animals of Farthing Wood, we all know how animals get down. They've got their own society. We keep out of it.
Yeah, they've got their own territories anyway.
I think it'd be a rare scenario. Like wolves would just look at a bear and go, "Fuck that shit, I'm out."
Yeah, probably.
Like, they literally would look at a bear and like just
probably leave that. Yeah, probably leave that.
Yeah,
100%. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's literally the only experience that she had with a wolf. And then it was just weird. I don't know whether the documentary sort of did it dirty, but you know how she was like, things went missing? And then...
Yeah, that kind of... I don't know whether that I just didn't really sort of take that bit in. I don't know. I didn't know whether it was just like me. But it just kind of glossed over like, oh, things started disappearing, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe supernatural style.
Yeah.
So something's going on within the house. Like, now we're talking. We've seen this like, big wolf creature, something's going, and then it was just like, oh, things went missing, and then anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? How? Isn't that not just any household on like a regular basis? Like, where did I put my keys situation? Like, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Kind of like at the end, it was like, and then a £70 post digger went missing, and then she realised that it wasn't the kids playing tricks on her. Well, I don't need to be funny, but it still
With the
could
kids
be.
hiding that.
Yeah. Like, but where did it go? There was no like.
It's true.
There was no.
It's true.
There was no closure on that. It was like
No.
it went missing.
It's one thing when a cow's going missing outdoors.
Yeah.
Do you know, out and about, anything could happen. It could be killed and dragged away. It could be scooped up and flown off. Right. No matter what's happening, something's not just creeping into the house and like beaming objects up and then bailing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna laugh at
You
that.
know.
I am. What the hell is scooping a cow up and then flying off with it?
Aliens, apparently, man, they're big fans of that. They love cows, mate. You know what I mean? Like, they love cows, man. It's their favourite animal. Honestly, I don't know. Of all the animals on Earth, cows are the ones that look at and go, yeah.
Don't forget
Nah,
Homo sapiens arsehole.
That's going straight
Yeah, I was
in
going
my
to say,
shit.
cows and bumholes, aliens, absolute bucket list. Honestly. Oh, you've been to Earth? Oh, all about them cows and bumholes, lad. Oh, yeah. I went last year.
I don't
Crazy.
get why. Like, who came up with that? Like, who came up with anal probing? Because what information could you get other than what you had for tea?
Of all the stories you're going to tell someone, though,
Yeah.
about being abducted by aliens,
I got
it's
bombed
not,
by
no,
one.
I didn't fight my way out using advanced alien technology. It was super cool, and then I grav lifted my way back down to Earth and dived in the house, locked the door. No, it's they got me and I was strapped down. They shoved something in my arse, and it's just like, what? Did it what? Yeah. They anal probed me. What? Why?
Do you think?
I didn't. Come on.
Do you think the term anal probing came from people being abducted? Do you think that actual that wording came about? I'm interested to see. I'll have a look and I'll put on screen now whether it is or isn't. Because
And
I
actually
want to know,
seeing
people.
whether anal probing was
I know
invented
exactly
from that.
where that come from.
Go on,
Where
then.
they what they probed before.
E.T. set that trend off. Look at that
E.T..
finger, man. That
Red
thing was
finger.
designed. That was literally designed for that
bumholes.
sort of shit. It literally were, and it glows and all, so you can see what's going on.
Did you mean that pun anyway, Scott?
Oh, amazing.
So he can see where his finger is inside you. That's why it glows.
Gonna
Like,
say that's the glow.
we're at the stomach now.
Yeah,
put-
exactly.
E.T. Put the light on. Put the light on. Yeah, that's amazing.
Oh, it's a bit dark in here, dude. That's exactly what it's for. A little
fire
flashlight.
up the finger.
When he says he were taking you home, woo-hoo. Taking
Yeah,
you
that's
right
it.
up that alley home.
You'll be home soon.
Oh, dear, man.
You'll be home
Jesus.
soon.
So,
But
the
the ranch.
yeah, the thing that like confused me, and you brought it up, was the fact that why would aliens start taking household items? Why would they just rearrange someone's house? If we were,
it's
if
it's
we
beyond
were,
it's beyond me.
if we
it's
went
beyond
to
me.
another
Ooh.
planet, right, and there was life forms down there, and we knew we were far superior to them, you wouldn't go in and just arrange the kitchen, would you? Like,
Man, I'm telling you, I'll tell you exactly what we're doing. Right? The second we go rocking into that alien household, I'm straight for the shampoo. You know,
The shampoo. What?
ridiculous. But this is, do you know what I mean? It's the same notion, isn't it? With these aliens coming in, it's just like, oh yeah, aliens have been in my house. Yeah. Oh, what did they take? Well, they took me chopping board. What? Well, like just random items. Like, oh yeah, they took me garlic crusher.
they took
Like-
no more tears.
Like, I'm still talking about, like, oh, my shampoo was just gone. I don't know where it went. Did someone use it and bin it? No, aliens.
Bald aliens took the shampoo
Yeah,
because they're all depicted
Yeah.
as bald, aren't they?
It's good for the skin. No more dry scalp,
Yeah.
right? No more dry scalp for those
You know
for those
what the worst
greys.
is? You know
It's
exactly what the
madness.
worst is, don't you? They'll take all that and they'll look around and be like, last thing you take shampoo. Oh, I'm taking, I'll have a bit of that. And then they'll look and they'll see the toothbrush. And they'll be like,
It's an anal probing time.
Oh boy, we know where this is going.
Finally, this is what they used to clean beforehand. Before we arrive, at least they prepared.
Look at the utensil on the end. Perfect. Scrubbing.
I could just imagine if,
It's
like,
crazy.
if so, spoiling the ending, but if, like, mad evidence was found to prove this, you could just imagine the old man racists in their armchairs, like, bloody aliens coming to our world,
Yeah.
stealing our utensils,
Coming over here, nicking our ideas.
nicking our cows.
Yeah. They're our bloody cows. They're Earth's cows, them. They're Earth's cows.
Do you think they're just they have their own form of YouTube and they're just, it's just a prank, bro? Just like,
Yeah, oh yeah. Can you imagine that? Just seeing these videos of these people just cowering in fear. Like, look at these people. Oh, I totally got them. Fly away, quick, fly away.
which brings us on to the next point. The headlights
Absolutely.
that they found. The headlights that they found in the dark. So they seen headlights off in the distance, so they decided to walk towards them. These headlights then got further and further away. Now the lights were white on the front and red at the back, on an oblong shape. It's a car. It's a car. It all of a sudden went straight up into the air. Oh, it went up the hill. Did it go up a hill?
Man, honestly, like your process there was basically my brain. Like as I'm watching it, I'm literally, and they were like, oh, it was white at the front. And then the second they said red at the back, I wish you could have seen my face just go like...
Maybe we should do a reaction to it.
It's a car. Yet again, aliens haven't floated in the sky and gone, red and white!
Yeah, so
What?
behind me
All these thousands of years of civilization to get to space travel, and we never thought of red and white, guys. Come on. Pick it up. Like, what's going on here?
Think of how many
If you
air
got further away,
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, if you see, like, some weirdo walking towards you in dark and you're in your car, of course you're going to fucking reverse and get the shit out of there. You're not going to be like, you're not going to get out. You're like, hey, pal, you lost.
Someone's strolling over with like a gun on their shoulder. Yeah, I'd also be reversing. Right, I'd be backing away as well and moving at high speed. It's like, oh, and then it suddenly started to accelerate at high speed. Yeah, he's carrying a weapon. Like, I don't want to be shot, and neither does anybody else. You know what I mean? So maybe the guy doesn't want to be shot.
We're going to go up this hill, and then that guy with the gun's like, oh my god, it's flying up in the air.
Yeah, no, yeah. So I didn't just start shooting at it anyway.
Yeah, it's just a slight incline, mate. That's why...
The power of Christ compels you! I don't understand. Yeah. Nah.
I reckon that was like a remote spot. You know, in America, I don't know whether it's like true or real or anything, but every film that you watch where it's to do with some sort of teen romantic comedy or just a comedy in general, there's always one spot that every teen goes to hook up.
I make that point.
Yeah,
yeah, that
spot. And that farmer went and ruined everything by bringing a gun to a makeout point.
That's such a good point. Some lad was about to seal the deal.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And Captain Shotty comes strolling up, and he has got to get out of there. He has got to pull out quick in both ways. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is out.
He was just trying to do an anal probe on...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's your origin right there. That's where it came from, him telling the story.
Yeah, but no, poor bloke. Or it could have been a woman. Could have been two women.
The thing is, as well, it's like, and obviously, you know, what we'll be leading on to, which I know, you know, Luke, you're going to lead us into in a minute, but most UFO stories, when I've seen different things, you know, certain programs and stuff, don't be wrong, as we've already proven right now thus far on the podcast, I am critical. I don't just take things at face value. I read into it. You know what I mean? I'll try and dispel it before I can confirm it's like paranormal. I've always been that kind of person. But some of the ones that we're going to be like talking about, you know, I can be like, okay, you know, start to make you think. And some ones I've seen have just been like, you know, crazy. Like I've really been like, no way. And I've had like, you know, genuine belief behind it. Because I do personally believe in aliens. I do, 100%, right? But things like that, like those ones, it's like you've got to do better than that. Like I'm not 10. Do you know what I mean? Like you've got to do better than that if you're going to get me on board. Like with these stories about this ranch, it's like, whoa, a forgetful lady and a wrong turn. You're going to have to do better than that.
Well, going off that anyway, Scott, what's your beliefs surrounding extraterrestrial life?
I think they're real. I don't know if they are like what they're portrayed to be, you know, like big heads and big eyes and like
your greys, as it were. Yeah.
The greys, yeah. I don't know if I'd like believe that's the image of an alien, but I do believe there is aliens.
Yeah.
It's just a case of whether like they've actually visited Earth and stuff like that. Well, because there could be life on, like, well, there is life on. Of course, there's life on other planets. Like,
even microscopic, yeah. Of course, there is, yeah.
I mean, the information that scientists have got on like certain planets, there's no life and you know stuff like that. But like, is that like 100% accurate? Like, can they actually turn around and say, yes, we've travelled up and down this planet in a car and found fuck all.
Lights.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
yeah.
Like,
white
there's
and red.
bound to be life. Neptune isn't that full of water?
I thought it was more acid than water, but this brings me on to sort of like my sort of
Venus
understanding is that
acid.
You would be very, very, very ignorant to think that there is nothing out there.
Yeah,
you
like
would
nothing but us.
Yeah, you would be right to be skeptical of whether they've been here or not.
Yeah, because
I mean, this is something that I want to do a podcast on in the near future anyway. Feel free to join, James. Is if we look at tribes,
sell it to me.
Tribes, Egyptians, all these great sort of like civilizations way back when.
Oh, you're talking ancient aliens? Yeah, I'm in. Yeah,
they've all
sold
got,
already.
Yeah, they've all got something coming from the sky. Every time.
Well, you don't have the same structures
like
across different continents, thousands of miles apart from each other, with no possible physical way at that time for them to make contact with each other. And they have the same exact structures in different locations. I'm not buying coincidence. I'm not buying that. I'm just not.
That kind of makes, like, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it kind of makes sense. Like, you know, apparently the pyramids, you know, people speculate that these have something to do with aliens. And Aztec temples, they're very pyramidish as well.
Yeah. This is the whole thing, man. Yeah.
It's almost like they've kind of built these things with what they can get their hands on in that area. So obviously an Aztec temple would be like, oh, well, what we got? We got a bit of wood, bit of rock, you know.
Let's build it into a triangle.
Yeah. And then obviously the desert, we've got all this sand to turn into fucking bricks. And let's just make one great big ass fucking Toblerone.
But I'm going to steer us away from this now because I actually want this for a topic. So put in the comments below if you think that we're going to anyway. I just need that that engagement, please. Let's get these videos pushed a little bit. And if you're enjoying it so far, please hit that like button. So yeah, we'll move on to sort of like the next thing is one of the things I was thinking was, how would you gauge a shape of something that's that far away? So with the lights and the red and white lights and things, clearly it was dark. It's pitch black. It's in the middle of nowhere. They said it was an oblong shape.
You can't tell.
No.
Lights from a distance are either a sphere or that typical sort of, you know, North Star shape where you've got the, you know what I mean? You've got the cross and then the ones between it. If you've got like, you know, like if your eyes are watering slightly and you get that typical refractor, star sort of, do you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. That is pretty much, at least in my experience of seeing, that is pretty much like the two ways you are seeing lights from far away.
Yeah.
You don't look at it and go, oh, there's a plane over there, look.
It's an oblong shape, that.
Do you know what I mean? Or like, oh, hey, look, you see that? Like, it looks like a giant spider. Like, behave. It's in darkness. You can't see it. Like, and the light takes away from the shape of it. That's why if a car's coming towards you, you don't see properly the car until it's going past you.
Yeah, because the light is trying to make them see you, not you see it.
Exactly.
So if the light's in front and facing forwards, then the light behind it is very, very low. Like I can't think of the word, but yeah, it's the specifics of that light is to see in front, not for it to shine up everything else behind it.
Yeah.
So you're not going to see it. You're going to see everything in front of you, in between you and the light. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's not possible to be like, it's that shape. Like, no way, behave. No way.
No, definitely not. So it was a car, and it was going uphill. Or maybe it was just their perception of it. Maybe that was just it. Maybe it went up a small incline and then disappeared. And from how far away they were, they probably saw it go up a lot higher than they thought than it actually did, and just disappear.
Over the horizon.
When your adrenaline's spiking and you're genuinely scared, even though you're walking towards something with a rifle, you are gonna see things. You are misinterpret.
I was going to say the same thing. Like as soon as that adrenaline's going, you're afraid. Heart's racing. The mind can play tricks.
Yeah.
And you take things for the worst. And I completely agree with that. I really do. I do think that it is something that they've seen. It's like it's the fella himself and obviously two kids, wasn't it? It was the two younger lads who were with him.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be getting hyped up, especially the kids. And he's going to be, whether he likes it or not, he's going to be sort of feeding off that fear. So yeah. Don't be scared of a car in motion.
And they're gonna be like taking in everything that he's saying in that. He's their protector. So if he's saying, "Oh, it looks like a ship," instantly those kids are gonna believe that's a ship.
Yeah,
it
exactly
happens
that.
With adults, it happens with kids. Probably more so with kids, but it does happen, and that's why witness statements aren't like categorically factual, because they can be coerced in any which way, shape, or form. If you're in a group and you all see someone get beheaded by a bearded guy with a knife wearing a blue jacket, but one person in that group is so confident that it was a shaven guy in a brown jacket, they can persuade your thought process and make you think that what you thought you saw was wrong, so you believe them over yourself. It happens. So
the power of manipulation.
It's not even manipulation, mate. That I get you though. It's so easy to manipulate somebody because if you're confident in what you're saying,
there's unintentional manipulation and intentional manipulation. So it's like someone like that obviously trying to describe what it is, like no, this is what happened, and that's because that's what he genuinely thought, and he's like, there is another word for it, but it's kind of trying to get everyone on his side of the story.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like there is another word for it than like obviously unintentional manipulation, but it's that's essentially what it is. The other people are being manipulated into thinking something different. Just it's not malicious, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And things become diluted because of that. Everybody talks about the same thing. That's why it's
Chinese whispers, isn't it?
Yeah, but witness statements are more credible the sooner that they're taken, and the less people that have spoken about it between themselves. But you have a group of people that witness one thing, whether it's 2, 3, they're going to talk to each other straight away, because that's how we deal with things. We talk about it, and we try and get over certain things. So,
absolutely.
And they could genuinely believe that they're right, and you genuinely believe that you're right, but you come to a conclusion at the end.
It's easy as well, though, because when you go through something traumatic, your brain deliberately tries to make you forget.
Yeah, mask certain stuff.
So parts of it will be hazy because it's already trying to delete that because it's damaging to your psyche. And when someone comes and says, "Oh, this happened," you're like, "Oh, well, to be honest, it was all a bit of a blur, so I'll take your word for it." And that's how Chinese whispers start. Do you know what I mean? It's literally just that situation. I think it's just your brain trying to shut it down, to be fair.
Pretty much. So moving on to well, as I like to call it, I've categorized it as poor farming skills.
He took pride in those cows.
He did.
And he made it very known.
I'm going to ruin the ending again. He took pride in the cows, right? But he left cows there as bait. I've ruined a little bit, but I'm not bothered because that was one of the things that really wound me up. Is how there was like he was a well-known breeder who took pride in his what was it? What were they? Black Angus.
Yeah, Black Angus. Yeah, they were. Yeah. Then again, I don't really think it's necessarily a spoiler because it's not a film. Do you know what I mean? It's not some like super twist at the end where it turns out the ranch owners were the aliens all along. It's not one of those. It is literally a situation of you're just like doing a bit of a Pulp Fiction, and that's okay when it's relevant to the reference for sure.
But he had two types of cows, and he left cows there for bait.
It's crazy.
So he's not a good breeder.
Yeah, why would you deliberately put your animals in danger if you knew that animals were obviously, it's leading on to this very subject now with the cattle disappearing and, either vanishing completely, like we're talking, obviously they discovered the tracks.
Yeah, that's the one that
hasty
was going on.
tracks.
Yeah.
Gone. Or ripped to shreds. Stop doing that to your cattle.
Get them out of there because you.
But yeah, please, Luke, elaborate on this first cow.
The first cow. So he was tracking a cow that had gone missing. So instantly, a lot of cows go missing for farmers. They usually have a lot of cows that they can't keep an eye on everything. I don't know how true it is over here, but I know in America they have a lot of cows. They have a lot of land to have these cows on. And I don't know whether they use the dogs as much. I know that he said that he had dogs go missing as well, but they weren't really touched upon. I'd be more scared, sad about the dogs.
I swear the dogs were mentioned pretty much at the end of the whole things are going missing segment, and then no mention of dogs again.
Yeah.
I swear, literally briefly touched on, this
dogs.
happened, this happened, this happened. Dogs went missing. This happened, this happened. Do you know what I mean? It was one of those.
Yeah, they didn't want to focus on it. But this cow that he tracked, he said in a snowstorm, it was a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Said that it looked like the cow had been running away. Now, I'm not a tracking expert, so I will take it as its word. If something looks like it's been running away, I will take you at your word. It looks like it's been running away. I've never tracked anything in my life, so I don't know. I can't comment.
You would just assume that the prints would become more frequent. There would be more steps because of more speed and how an animal moves. But I absolutely know what you're saying. I'm not a hunter, don't track things. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've got no idea. I think they did say that branches and stuff were trampled, but
they did say that. Yeah, branches. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it would, but I don't think it'd necessarily run through branches to snap them off. If it was just walking, ignorantly through. Yeah. I think it would have to be forced to pick up speed to do that, to be fair.
But I don't know, maybe a cow that's lost would become frantic, because obviously they're herd animals. If they're on their own, they could be frantic just because they're on their own and there's a snowstorm. We all know what happens with animals when a storm's coming in.
Yeah, something could have got blown up, hit the animal in the backside, scared it bolted, started shooting through the trees. Yeah.
That missing fence machine.
We found it.
That missing post. What was it? The 70-pound post digger.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
They take a stroll into woods and they're we found the cow. Oh, and we found the machine.
Yeah.
Wedged up the cow's arse.
This is where maybe my tracking knowledge does get scrutinized, which is fine. However, it was in the woods and you could follow the tracks, right? Mm-hmm. It went out into an open field and you no longer saw the tracks as if it had been scooped up into the air, right? This is in the middle of a snowstorm.
Did it stipulate in the middle of a field?
It said in a clearing.
Did it opened out? Right.
Clearing, yeah. It said it opened out into a clearing and there were no more tracks as if it had been sucked up into the air. So for me, in the middle of a snowstorm, right, you're going through woods. Your tracks would stay in the woods because you've got trees, cover and stuff like that stopping snow
for settling. Longer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So But if you run through an open space, there's nothing stopping snow and whatever dropping into your footprints as you're walking, so you'd never be able to see behind you.
Surely it just cover your tracks over.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a snowstorm, as you say.
Yeah.
That's covering it so fast.
Exactly. So to me, that's just poor farming skills. Like, he should have carried on
Lost
walking.
it.
He'd have probably found it. Or it's frozen to death because it was in the middle of a snowstorm. Could be buried underneath a lot of snow. You know? You never know.
Or you know, aliens were floating above, waiting, saw the cow walk out into the clearing. Nice one, boys, just like we planned. Swoop on down, scoop him up with the big grabber, the big claw, grabbed him, lifted him up and in, and they've got the cow, one down, one to go for the bucket list.
Grab the cow. You're the chosen one.
Exactly. And that's option 3.
Maybe they thawed it out and had like some sort of ragu beef. You
know? I'm going to say, we've heard how good Angus is. You know, they've got the database, haven't they, these aliens? They're going through the steak. Do you know what I mean? I bet if we dig deep enough, there'll be Wagyu going missing.
Literally could be the reason why they're taking cows. You know, they've seen one and thought, I'll have a bit of that. Let's see what's that. You know, they shoot it up into the ship.
Humans rage over this.
Eat it, and then they're like, oh, Greg, this is madness. Have you tried this?
Greg the alien.
Greg the alien, I'm going to say.
And then why don't we just introduce them to Burger King or Macca's? It just make things so much easier.
Yeah. Oh,
maybe they realise how bad it is for us and don't want to get.
And just be like, leave that. It's killing them off young. Leave it. We'll just have it as fresh as possible.
Listen here, I have to pay 99p for a cheeseburger, or I can steal this whole Aberdeen Angus cow from a farm for free.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
the big grabber.
Yeah.
Option 1. Yeah, but I believe it was cow number 2, was it not? That ended up suffering a worse fate, Luke.
Oh, yes, it was. And this is the one that I'm a bit confused about. And I say confused, I know exactly what happened, and I'll tell you.
Please do.
So you're strolling along, you realise that there's a cow missing in its calf. You're following the tracks, you see that the cow is stuck in what can only be described as like a small, shallow puddle with an embankment going round it, so it's struggling to get out, right? So you decide not to call your dad to come help that while you go and look for the calf. You decide to go and look for the calf yourself and leave that cow on its own. When you get the calf and you come back, the whole backside of the cow is completely gone, as if something has just sliced down its back, but there is no blood. So here's what happened. Boy went to fetch a calf that had run off, and as he was coming back, his dad decided to throw some of the butchered cow into this pond. And that's the reason why there was no blood, because he'd already dried it out while he was butchering it, just to scare his kid. And make him believe that this thing is all aliens. Because I don't know about you, but I genuinely don't think there's anything out there that could take the back half of a cow and not leave a single drop of blood anywhere.
A high-powered laser
just disintegrates the blood. All of it.
No, I mean, cauterizes, doesn't it? Like a high-powered laser, almost on the, obviously not the same, it's fiction. And I know this kind of is in a way as well, I get that. But lightsaber style, if a laser is like gnarly enough, it beams something, it pretty much cauterizes it as soon as it's beamed through it. So that's pretty much the only thing. So unless they go in it, and let's be honest, I'm not being funny, but there is no laser, at least within the physics of the Earth realm, right? There is no laser that doesn't emit light. High levels of light. So if that was going to happen, everybody would have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be so bright.
Yeah,
it'd be so bright if it was able to cut the back end of a cow off. But the thing that got me was I was like, but I don't think it drowned because it wasn't that deep. You can drown in soup. Do you know what I mean? You can drown in a bowl of soup. Are you mad? Well, the only way you only have to be covered to like the side of your face here. To be drowned, like to cut your airway off. It's not about your ears. You know what I mean?
I don't think it drowned because half of its body was missing.
But this is what he was saying. But it
Yeah.
said that as well, like
Yeah.
on the documentary. Literally,
Yeah,
they're
I
like,
know.
"Oh, I don't think it drowned." And it's just like,
Of course.
no, I reckon it's probably the halving.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That'd be like someone getting cut in half and going, "Oh, I think he ran out of oxygen."
Well, we can write that one off. It did drown.
Do you know what I mean, though? Literally, it's like getting cut in half and going, "Oh, no, I think he's run out of oxygen." I don't know about... Yeah, no, but he's cut in half. I mean, it might be. No, might be.
I think the cause of death was blood loss.
No, definitely not that.
He bled to death.
Crazy.
No,
But then there was another one as well, wasn't there, after that?
there was so in between this time. So when that poor cow got butchered and thrown into a shallow pool of water, they decided to bounce. So it wasn't any of the other things that made them bounce. It was this particular one. And there's no mention of the wife, by the way, except for things going missing and seeing a wolf.
Yeah, being forgetful. Yeah.
Oh, and seeing something
Yeah.
swoosh past her face that was like a large bird while she was on a hike.
Yeah, what was that bit? I was not
Yeah.
taking that in. She felt something like brush the top of her head twice, and but she knew it was something big.
Yeah. I don't mean to be funny, but after seeing an invincible wolf that's immune to bullets, I wouldn't go for a hike.
I know. I don't understand. I don't get that. Yeah, that is something that was just beyond me.
Yeah,
That's
just
like
ridiculous.
categorically seeing a shark swimming around in front of you and going, "I fancy a swim," and just going in.
Cutting your finger
Like,
while you're doing it.
You've got this massive predator roaming around that apparently can't be killed with bullets. That, you know, she didn't have the silver bullets on hand, did she? So she's shooting it with normal bullets. It wasn't working, and she's like, "I need some fresh air. Open a window. What's wrong? What's wrong with you?"
She was too scared to open the window, but she decided to go for a hike on a ridge. You know.
I don't know what.
This is part of the Skinwalkers themselves, though, isn't it? Like with the whole wolf not being able to be killed. And
Yeah.
shot.
So
Because apparently Skinwalkers themselves are pretty much impossible to kill.
Mhm.
And they like, according to legend, the only way that they could be killed was a knife in white ash. Stabbing it with something, a knife or whatever, a sharp object covered in white ash was the only way to kill them.
I thought they were also weak in that. I don't doubt that for a second, for the record, man. Not in any way, shape, or form. But I thought, am I right in thinking it might be something else? That they're also like weak in like their original state, you know, like in their actual like original form, not like pretending to be something else. They're weaker in that state as well.
yeah,
I could be wrong. Could be thinking of something else. There's a lot of creatures.
There's a lot of lore behind Skinwalkers as well. Is that they didn't focus on eradicating them. It was the Navajo tribe. They focused on wards. So there's, in Utah especially, which is where this ranch is, there's a lot of stories of people that go out and put wards across like nature trails and things. And they go back like every sort of 3 to 6 months to put some ward protection on these trails to make sure that you stay on the trails basically and nothing can come and attack you. Which is, you know what, it's just like, I'm not religious, but you know when like your nan says she'll pray for you, I don't believe in it, but it's a nice thing.
It's a nice gesture. I'm not going to say no, don't do that. Yeah, like, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not going to be like, oh no, don't do that. It's like, well, you know, please yourself. You know,
they're an interesting topic to discuss because apparently you can become one.
Yeah.
By committing atrocious evils,
Hmm.
you can become a Skinwalker.
Really?
Yeah, but you have to speak with a witch doctor from one of the tribes.
But they are really, really creepy as well. Did anyone see the picture of one? Like that was taken like what? It's like a blurred image in the dark, but it's such a
It looks
weird
hunched over,
picture.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
You'll have to show me that. No, I don't think I've seen that. I do want to see that.
It's right on screen.
Yeah.
James, you can see it on screen, can't you? It's amazing.
Oh, mate, that
Other side, mate. Other side.
That right. That. That's looking tasty.
Things. Just let me get that time reference. 39 minutes and 22 seconds. So yeah, it is something that we have visited, but it's something that I'd like to revisit. So maybe you can host that one, Scott, and I can take a day off. We'll let you do it.
Backseat.
Yeah.
Take a back seat, son. I'm in charge of this train.
I'll move
Let me drive.
I'll move my camera across to the left, and Scott can go to the right.
Give me a central spot.
Yeah, Scott can have that central spot. Yeah, but definitely something I want to revisit because I thought this would be the one to revisit it.
Yeah.
And I was sorely.
No, I'm very interested in that. Yeah.
Yeah, disappointed and surprised and quite excited because you know, it is a good subject. It's just not what I thought it'd be. You know,
Yeah.
It's like I don't know.
I'll be honest. I didn't know what to expect with Skinwalkers because I'm not that clued up on them. But obviously, when I looked into them, I was like, "Shit!" Like these guys like do all sorts of weird stuff, and they have the ability to supposedly, transform and stuff like that. And naturally, they're quite mutated to a degree. But like I say, if we can cover this another time.
Yeah.
But they are a really interesting topic to talk about.
So
yeah, no, definitely look forward to that.
So back on topic, the NIDS team got involved. So they've got a billionaire owner, and they bought the ranch from this family. I was gonna start by saying that I'm not gonna name them, but I actually forgotten what they're called now, so it worked out. So the NIDS team got involved, and they didn't see anything really. I think one guy saw one thing. Once he saw a light in the sky that was moving erratically, which could be anything, but it could be something. We can't. But they even said themselves that after, I think they were there for a decade. I think they were there for 10 years. They didn't.
See, this is the
find
funny
enough
thing
evidence.
That I was going to say as we moved into the sort of almost the third part, if you will, of that mini documentary. The thing that got me was almost like from all the stories that it was telling and from everything that you were being told, it was telling you like you had spoken to one family and one family only, nobody else to corroborate, just one family. They've told you these stories and you've gone, no way. I believe you 100%.
Yeah.
And then they suddenly got out there. And I'm like, but you're talking about all these things like loads of people have witnessed them. I expected this place genuinely to almost be like not a gated community, but like a huge open bit of land with loads of different properties on. And everyone's going out and going, oh, you seen that, Maureen? Look at that, you seen that in the sky? No. Just one family talking about these things, and then suddenly it's like people are talking about like, ooh, this happened and this happened. Did it? I don't get it, man. Sorry. Do continue from this, but
it's just so skewed, the things that happened, and it just seems so erratic. But there's one bit that I was kind of in awe of, and that was when he was looking through his rifle scope at a few lights that were creating like a weird thing. And he said it looked like it was opening a portal and letting something through. Dude needs to stop eating them mushrooms.
I mean, my eyes widened, but that's only because it's tickling the nerd in me.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Cool. It's talking about opening wormholes up within our airspace. Do you know what I mean? Earth's airspace as it was. That's now then you're speaking my language, but don't get me excited over wormholes when, come on now, a reflection can look like an opening. Do you know what I mean? Depending on what surface it's off, this kind of thing. I can't be just going straight in from the things that we've talked about previously, which, as we've all agreed, a lot of them seem pretty bogus, to be fair. I'm not just going to suddenly go from that to be going, and then suddenly, 100% guaranteed wormhole.
Oh, yeah. 100% totally legit happened. 100%.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Rest of it bogus, but wormhole?
Yeah.
Definitely cows.
So it was just there was one bit as well that like really cemented it for me that the husband especially was just so full of crap. Is that when the NIDS team went off for winter, I can't remember what winter it was, what year it was.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They went off for winter, and the husband was being like the head rancher at this farm. After he'd sold
Yeah.
it to the NIDS team, he went back and he was their head sort of ranch guy. Don't know how he got to do that with his CV because
Yeah.
he'd lost loads of cows. But he was head of it.
Madness.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a smart guy, that, genuinely.
He lied
Selling
about
his own business
GCSEs.
for a load of money to then work for it to keep earning money. Matt, he's on it.
This is what I mean, though. He was very smart. We're all sat here saying he's so stupid, but he had a billionaire buy his ranch off for him and hire him to come and look after his own cows.
Man, this is it. Like, we're talking the kind of guy who, like, business mind. He's putting pen to paper, mastermind, but going for a walk with his gun. Oh dear.
Yeah.
No. Like you said, the nature has gotten to his senses.
Yeah, it's just weird, but yeah. So when they'd bought it, he was the head rancher, and he left his cows, not all of them, but he left some of his cows there as bait. Now these
like
cows,
a quarter of them or something.
Yeah, these cows had calves, and one of the calves was described by the NID team as having its ear lobbed off, as if cut by shears. Instantly, he's been cut by shears, and the mutilated from the spine downwards. So there's a picture which I'll not put up because it's gruesome.
It is, yeah.
I'll put a link in the description to the picture. There you go. You got it right. Just down. So I'll put a link down there to it. Basically, its spine is gone. Its head is messed up. Its ear looks like it has been sheared off. So he's just killed a calf for the sake of it. For the sake of it. When the NIDS team isn't there. So this only happened when they weren't there.
It just looked like it had been eaten. Like, either eaten or butchered. Like, do you know what I mean? Genuinely, like, one of the two. It looked like it had either been attacked and eaten or butchered.
Yeah.
Like, it really did when you saw it. To me,
weird, it was the opposite to how things are eaten. Its spine was gone, but its stomach lining was still there. Usually,
from what I remember, the picture that they show, it's the head goes down into a bit like the shoulders, then the spine comes out, goes down. It's got the rib cage still attached, but gory. Goes down into a little bit of the pelvis, but the legs are missing. That kind of thing. Got a bit of the tailbone. It's got all like, it's all like the down to the spine and sort of rib cage, but all the rest is like gone. It's honestly, it's been gnawed down to the rib cage and spine, man, by the looks of things.
I must have misseen it, but I'll put a link in the description though. No, to me it looked like its spine had completely disappeared, but the stomach lining was still there. Like it goes to its ribs, and then the spine is just gone.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it doesn't look like, unless we're talking like, flesh hungry aliens that, got some sort of like rabid dog on a leash. Like I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. It's not paranormal. You know what I mean? A cow turning up, butchered in some way, be it by man or beast, it's not paranormal.
No.
Madness.
But after a 10-year investigation, the NIDS team put it to a close and said, although there were certain things that they found suspicious, there wasn't enough evidence to prove the existence of extraterrestrials or a paranormal entity on the property. Surprise, surprise. Some guy has just sold a ranch that he didn't like for a lot of money and got a job working at that ranch, protecting his own cows and rearing his own cows. I reckon he should manage this YouTube channel, to be fair, because I want to see some of that money rolling.
He knows what's good, mate. He knows what's good, let me tell you, that fella. Yeah. He definitely does. But yeah, I personally... For me, if I would give it like, if I would sort of my take from almost like the overall thing is genuinely, I felt like, the documentary, I mean, specifically, is literally, it was like watching an episode of like an urban legends program where it was like a collection of short stories that people, things that go bump in the night. It really was like just a mishmash collection of stories, but they just so happened to be set in this same location.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like fact
it
or
really
fiction.
was for me. They're trying to insinuate to me that they start off with talking about like a skin crawler. They talk about this beast here, this wolf and whatnot. Then they're trying to insinuate aliens. So that kind of threw me for a loop. I'm just like, well, they're two completely separate things. Front page, lady loses her belongings in house. Then that's its own story. And then, do you know what? It just seemed like urban legends, like stitched together, but all in the same place. I just didn't understand what it had to do with aliens. Cars reversing. It was lost on me, man. It really, I didn't get it. Blew my mind.
This was the 90s, so no sort of video evidence, which was a bit annoying, really. That's
always convenient.
Yeah.
These things.
And that's why nothing really has been said since this point. I think the investigation with the NIDS team ended in 2003, and that's it.
Yeah, long time ago, and they never heard anything since. This is the thing, never heard anything since. It was that much of a hot spot that we've never heard anything since. It's so hot, you don't even find its way onto the internet.
So any thoughts, Scott?
Well, I think we learned a lot about cows. We one got chopped in half. We found the machine in its ass.
How not to look after cows.
It's been a good chat.
Yeah, taking a valuable lesson away.
What do you think? What do you think has happened there, then, Scott? We'll have a vote.
I think it's just some absolute idiot that's just done all this for whatever reason. I don't think it has anything to do with aliens.
Money.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. 100% hoax, I think, yeah. I'm not definitely not on that.
It literally could be money because money talks, doesn't it? But
well, hoaxes provide money. You know what I mean? It's attention. Attention is money, do you know what I mean? This is the thing. Even back then, attention is money. You get the news on it. It's so easy, spread some rumours.
It's just a prank, bro.
Yeah.
It's come full circle.
That cow in half.
It's come full circle.
That cow.
It's just
Do you
a
not
prank.
like that cow?
Yeah.
It was just a joke, man.
Yeah.
Live a little. Daddy, it's cut in half. It's like
Instantly German.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, apparently.
They are fingerless.
It's not fingerless. That's because they have hooves, son.
But no, I think we've come full circle, really, because at the start
We really
it was
have,
like,
in a perfect way.
Aliens, it's just a prank, bro. And now the
Yeah.
general consensus is that idiot, who I actually think is probably one of the smartest people to ever own a ranch,
Yeah.
has fooled a billionaire into giving him a lot of money. For an
Wrapped
undisclosed
up.
amount as well. Undisclosed
I know.
amount.
Yeah, absolutely. Wrapping up that episode of You've Been Aliened.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just a prank, bro. And thanks for listening. Take care.
Later.
Bye-bye.